Okay, March the 12th. The Shackley, some of the Shackley masters were meeting in Kansas City because they had decided enough is enough. And you might say, enough of what? Well, they had decided that Shackley had been the best kept secret for too long, and they were committing themselves to begin to do a real push to get the word out, talk to people, share the opportunity. And so, after we had a training session 2 to 4, then James recorded uh, Linda and I and him, as we were reviewing what we had learned the previous 2 hours. And I still have hope that that's going to get put up on Facebook, because I sure hope y'all can get to see that. Shelby, is that you joining us?
It is.
Great. Okay, let me get your name on here. Okay, so then after that time, they had at 7 o'clock that evening, they had an opportunity meeting where people were encouraged to invite any prospects they had in the Kansas City area. And the four masters presented it, and it was very, very good. Um, the first lady was Carolyn Whiteman, and she used like some of the slides that we have in our health chats, but she just had them on paper. The room was pretty small, so you could mostly see it. And she presented those and talked about the some of the history of Shackley. And then Charlene Fike talked, and I think she talked more about the Shackley legacy. And I think Roland Osterhaus talked, and James talked. And James specifically was showing the incredible value of getting to coordinator. And at that point, if you have four, uh, have two directors, I think it was, and then you repeated that so that you had, I believe it was 6,000 a month in income, then that would be worth over $1 million to you, because Shackley members use products for 17 and a half years on average. And it was very interesting in that meeting how many people had used Shackley for 40 years, because this was a meeting, mostly the training part, of course, was for people in Shackley already. And so over $1 million of residual income is pretty amazing. Um, I think I might tell you just one more story. Charlene Fike is a presidential master who kind of, I think, spearheaded all of this. And I'm not positive. I was thinking she might be the chairman of the Masters Exec Committee this year, or maybe she was last year. She lives in Washington, D.C., and she lives in a very nice high rise where many high level government people also live. And they have a once a month get together so they can meet other residents in the complex. And she is committed to sharing Shackley with them, because all of those people that come to this meeting at night are uh, 9 to 5 kind of workers. So we say that they are trading their time for money, right? And if they don't work, then they don't get paid. Now, some of them will get paid for holidays or vacations or whatever, and maybe they'll have some time like that. But we all know that when you have a 9 to 5 kind of job, when you don't have that job, you aren't getting paid. And if you're a doctor or a dentist or a lawyer, it's even worse, because if you don't have a client or a customer that hour, you're not getting paid. And so she's really committed to sharing this with them, because those folks are like many. They work long hours. They're really stressed. In the high level positions they have, there's much pressure, and she wants to share Shackley with them. And I was just really impressed that these. I think they came on their own expense to come to Kansas City and talk about how they could do that. And I think I would like to take a minute now I want to share my screen. I want to show you a little drawing. And if you have paper handy and you want to duplicate this and make notes while I'm talking, then it'll make a little bit more sense to you. This is the golden triangle. I guess I should have put that in the middle. I was just working on it, trying to get it done. For those of y'all that don't know, I drove up to Oklahoma City Wednesday night, and Linda Omart let me spend the night with her. And then bright and early Thursday morning, we drove up to Kansas City, went to those 2 meetings, got in the car, came back home to Oklahoma City. We got home about 2. Then I got back up at 7 or 8 the next morning and came back to Tyler. So it was 1,400 miles in about 48 hours.
Mm.
So I'm still trying physically to recover, but be that as it may. Here is what we were learning about. This is the golden triangle. A is the trainer. This might be your upline. This might be you. It might be people that you have taught how to do this. This is very duplicatable. Okay? The trainer is the person that we are going to acknowledge as being the one who knows more than I do. So on the left side, let's see, I don't know if I'm trying to think how I can make my cursor show. I don't know how to do that. Between business builder and trainer, that slanty line, I couldn't figure out how to write slanty, but you want to write learn with an arrow up to trainer. The business builder is learning from the trainer, and also the word edify, because the business builder is telling his potential customer, this is someone who knows more than I do. He's really busy, but I'm going to try to get us an appointment for him to talk to you or her. So the business builder B is going to make an appointment with A for B and C to get together with A. B, the business builder, is your new person that wants to build a business, and you're going to help train him to learn how to do this. C is the business builder's potential customer. And right underneath customer, why don't you write the word friend? Because ideally, this potential customer is a friend of business builder. So they already have some trust between each other, and they want to build more trust there so that as they grow a business, they're working together. They have a team. So we're going to be building by twos. Okay. On the slanty line between A and C, you want to write presentation. The trainer is going to make a presentation to the customer during this appointment, and he's going to pass knowledge to that customer. I think you guys have heard us talk before about how having a third party gives validation and, let's see, what do you call it? What's another word for that? I know there's a word for it. Anyway, it gives credibility. Yes, yeah, that's good. Affirmation, something like that. It helps to strengthen the customer's belief if you have a third-party person. Okay, B, the business builder, after he has found his friend that he'd like to come and meet with the trainer, and this can be Zoom or in person, you know, however it works. The business builder's responsibility, besides making the appointment with the trainer, is to tell the trainer everything he knows about the potential customer, so that when they actually have a meeting, when the meeting occurs, the trainer already knows that the potential customer, let's say, has a problem with arthritis in his knees, or the potential customer may be interested in having more income, just got laid off, looking for a job. So whatever you can tell the trainer about your customer will be helpful so that you can target what you're going to say to that customer. Okay. What Linda and I really liked about this presentation was the fact that it's very duplicatable. You have one person finding somebody who's interested in the business, and the trainer educates and teaches them about the business and about the products, and then ideally B and C find 2 more people, and it's repeated again. When it's repeated again, B, the business builder, becomes the trainer. He's found 2 people, or the one's found another, and the triangle repeats again. I didn't have enough time to make all of this, but what you want is this to be duplicatable. The trainer may need to spend extra time helping B and C to learn about the business so they can repeat this and educate others. But ideally, trainer A steps out at some point because B has gained the knowledge and the experience, and he is helping his downlines, just like C hopefully would help their downlines. We really found this to be very interesting and easy to talk about, and I hope that we can get James's video uploaded. Linda, are you where you can talk? Would you like to share anything else about what we did?
Well, that was a very good summary of it all, but that was the main thing, just the idea that, because I always wondered, because I've got 100 people down below me, but nobody's a leader. I'm not a leader. And I didn't know how to get a grip, so that you develop a leader. And this is how you go about that. It was just so, the idea is just so simple. And what I love too is the new person has to get a group together, like get a group together and we'll have an event and I will give, presentations, and then, at some point, that's just a lot for some people to wrap their mind around, but not if you do it one person at a time with help from somebody who knows a little bit more than you do. It just, I don't know, it just simplified everything. And I could see that this is one way to really make Shaklee accessible to everybody. And so I don't know, I just thought it was really exciting.
Well, and I like the idea that the new person, B, the business builder, doesn't have to know it all, because who's going to be the one that's knowledgeable in the presentation? It's going to be the trainer, right? And so you can rely on that person to fill in gaps and make points, and all the time the trainer's talking, business builders learning and following and watching how he can do that, and the potential customer is learning too, because you want to be able to duplicate this. There's no point. I mean, this is the whole idea, is to keep it simple so that you can easily duplicate. Let's see, anything else, Linda, that you wanted to share?
That's the main thing. That, and I think it's so helpful how the trainer has information from the business builder that actually helps them tailor what they're going to say for the new person. Because you could go 1,000 different ways practically with Shaklee, you could go off on life plan or this and that and the other and miss the point completely that the person has a different need altogether. And so whether or not to lead with the business, if that's what their interest is, or you can lead with a certain product category. If Get Clean is, that's where their interest is, and that's where you start, but they said you always show both. So you lead with what they're interested in, and then you close with another area of Shaklee with product. Lead with business and close with products, or vice versa.
Yeah, that's excellent. Well, and I like the idea of this also, because this the idea is to get people into action as soon as possible. So if trainer A has been talking to B and B is interested in building a business, if B brings C in, that gets him involved right away. Now already he's got somebody who might be interested in the business, and it keeps things moving right away. And I really I liked that idea. Get them into action. They said you don't want to spend a whole lot of time on other things that dilute you. You want to try to get involved and get busy, growing right away.
Phyllis, could I ask a question?
Sure.
I did see what James posted on Together We Lead. He posted him up there with his chart. I guess you were filming it.
I was.
At the beginning, he did show some figures. Did they show any figures when they do this, like any potential amounts or anything that the people could earn? Or are they just showing them how the multi-level works? Because years ago we used to use figures.
Right. And since James was presenting as part of the opportunity presentation, I'm going to say yes, that he did show figures. Partly, I think, so that people can get some of the big picture, and also so they can see that people really like these products. They're going to use them for 17 years at the very least. That's the average. And so this is what it means to you to get B and C into the business, and them getting a couple people in. I was really impressed with that. You know how he did the the numbers we did last year before, the 9 ways to earn, it was a little bit of that, but mostly it was trying to help them see how valuable getting these can be over a lifetime. It's the residual side of it, which I thought was excellent.
Well, I've heard that 9 ways to earn before, y'all talking about that. Is that written down somewhere?
Yes, I'll make a note, Melanie, to
Oh,
talk to you about that. Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah. It needs to be updated, but it's really, I think when a person thoroughly comprehends how many ways Shackley wants to reward us for sharing with others, I think it's extremely motivational. Okay,
Good.
I was looking at what some of my notes were, and one of them was that we need to become a professional listener. I think everybody in the room got silent and were thinking about how they could be a better listener, because what we want to find out is, do you want to hear about a program that has helped others? And then whatever they say is the issue, is which way you go, like Linda said, is vitally important that we listen to what they had. Also, another thing that they said was that the doing this and growing our business and getting really good at these different things requires us to have a change in our thinking. If you want to change in your behavior, you have to have a change in your thinking. And Charlene Fike pointed out that we need to skill up. One lady that was sitting in the room said that she had gone to get her real estate license, and she said, I had to study hours and hours to get ready to take this one test. There were courses I had to go through. And then after I did that one, I had to do another one, because she was trying to show that there were hours of training she had to do just to get to the entry level. And Charlene Fike was pointing out that it will take us about 20 hours to learn a new skill. So maybe doing something like this, I don't know if it take you 20 hours, but it takes time to get where we have skills to be really effective. And she encouraged us to spend time as much as we can listening to people who are good in our industry. She mentioned Tony Robbins, who's got a lot of motivational things. I have some Jim Rohn things to listen to. You can read the books that we've talked about before, because they have tons of ideas. But she said, keep filling your head with ideas and encouragement and affirmations so that you can change your way of thinking. I've muted everybody just in case you wondered. I kept hearing feedback or something. One thing that we talked about was having confidence in what we're doing. And James, our upline, has been talking to us on our call about we don't ever have to apologize for being in network marketing. We can have confidence in what we're doing. We don't have to justify what we're doing. I may have mentioned this to you before, but he says when you go in to see your doctor, he doesn't justify being a doctor. I mean, that's who he is. He just is one. He doesn't have to tell you, well, I just no. He's a doctor. That's his job. And the same for a school teacher, and the same for the guy that picks up your groceries, your garbage, or whatever. Nobody goes around apologizing for the job they have, and we shouldn't either. And we shouldn't feel on the inside like we have to apologize or justify it. We're doing a service for people. We're either helping them to find products that help their lives, help them to be healthier, or we're also helping them find a business opportunity so they have residual income. I don't know about you guys, but I've got a number of friends who tried to retire and had to go back to work. And they're older than I am, still having to be in the workforce because there's not enough income. And so we have a wonderful opportunity to share, and we don't ever have to feel embarrassed or ashamed or anything about that. Okay, I'm muting, but I still hear the noise. I may have to put it again. Anyway, she really encouraged us to be willing to spend the time to skill up. And if you aren't sure what your skills, what skill you're lacking or that you need to work on, if you're brave, ask a good friend. Ask your upline, ask one of your customers. where is it that you need to get help? If I, one thing I know I need to do better is listen and ask questions, and then carefully listen to the answers. Probably there's nobody in the world that couldn't improve on the listening skill, if nothing else, or learning how to ask good questions so that people will help you get to their real need on the inside. So those are just some of the things that you might want to consider. There's lots of skills we can learn. You may have heard people over and over in Shaklee say that this business is really a personal development occupation, because you must improve yourself and gain new skills if you're going to be successful. So I thought that was helpful. Another thing someone said, they repeated what Dr. Shaklee says about the more people you help, the more money you make. And I liked this one thing. One person said, we get thank you bonuses for sharing. I really like that statement. Thank you bonuses for sharing. And we all know, we've had people say to us before that if you go to the store or something, that Walgreens never does send you a nice letter or a check or anything for telling somebody about a good sale that was on that you told about or anything like that. So Shaklee is pretty unique in that they reward us that way. Okay, I cannot locate the sound where it's coming from, so I want to unmute us again. Y'all try to just endure it for just a few minutes. I did have a question. Someone has joined us on an iPad, and I'm not sure who that is. Would you mind?
It's Marie.
Marie. Oh, great. Okay, Marie, glad to have you with us today.
I feel like I've been gone forever.
Well, it does seem like that, but you do what you have to, and we're glad you're with us today. Okay, is there anybody else who would like to speak, have any questions, or want to make a comments about what we've been talking about? Okay, well, I really encourage you, if you have a chance, to go to our Facebook group and listen to what James had to say. I think I'm going to listen to it every day for a little while to help it really soak in what a powerful opportunity we have to share with others. To me, it was really, really exciting to look at those numbers again, that we've seen them before, but good to review and remind. Okay.
Phyllis?
Yeah.
Excuse me, it's Roseanne.
Yes.
What is the name of the Facebook group?
It's the Snyder Shaklee team. Let me see if I have it open still. Let me think how to do this. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this, and I'll go and see if I can share my desktop. And let's see if we've got that open. Well, that really did a lot of good, didn't it? Well, I expect I can find it. If you just give me just 1 second. Snyder Shaklee team. There it is, right there. I believe at some point I have asked or invited most of you to join it, but if I missed, just please feel free to jump right in. Okay, here we go. And I posted that this morning, so it should, an ideal world, be toward the top of the screen. There it is, right there. I was really proud of him. I don't know how many of you know your uplines or whoever's involved in your business above you, between you and me, but or even above me, but we have some fabulous master coordinators who really care about us and are trying to help the field, and they are practicing this very thing of trying to skill up and learn to be good listeners and build themselves so that they can be able to help us and help us to grow the business, because they said enough is enough. We need to get our secret out so people can find out about us. So, okay, anybody else have a question or anything else you'd like to share that's going on in your business?
Thanks.
Linda, were you speaking?
Oh, well, I thought somebody else was going to say something, but one thing, okay, when we were there, they did a presentation and a business presentation that night. And and I didn't know what to expect when a master gives a business presentation, but it was just like something I think all of us would do. Charlene started with the Shackley heritage with Dr. Shackley, and she spent lots of time on that, on the accomplishments of Shackley in the past all the way to the present, and really built that we have a very strong foundation. So if you're looking for a business opportunity, you would want something that just didn't pop up, but something that has a strong heritage and past. And so, and then Carolyn Whiteman just used printed off slides from one of those business presentations that Shackley has for us. And she took it through mainly like the product testing and that kind of thing, and some of the product lines. And then James closed with the business that Phyllis posted, that it is something that is multi-generational and it's residual. And so anyway, it did my heart good to see that the masters, that's what they do when they are trying to do a business opportunity. There wasn't anything magic about it or anything. And so I thought it helped me to wrap my mind around that if they've built businesses doing that, then that's something that I could do too.
Oh, that's good, Linda. Yes, that is right. And I know when Linda and I were talking, she said that was what she was already doing. Most of those things she talked about Dr. Shackley and the longevity of our group and our company and how the testing and so forth. So I would be very surprised to find out that wasn't the same thing most of us are doing. And so that was pretty cool to see it in person. I enjoyed that. And say one person, Linda, can't remember, one of them talked about I was trying to remember something about, was it pollution or the chemicals or something in our, anyway, it was very interesting to hear what they were saying about just the background and how many years Shackley's been in. And we've got, from time to time, there are people that leave Shackley to go with some bright new startup, but a lot of times those companies don't last. They don't have the science and they don't have the longevity. And we've got 60 years of a company that's solid, and they have never missed a bonus payment ever. They've always made them every time. And I just think we have got a lot to be proud of. So it was good for me. I was glad to hear it. Thanks, Linda, for adding that.
Phyllis?
Yes.
This is Connie. I was just going to comment real quick. Some of you may not know, but we've moved to Rockport, and so we're relatively new down here. And so I've been wondering where I was going to find new people, because we don't know that many people here yet. But we had gone by yesterday to visit a couple in the subdivision where our lot is, just to say hello. And in talking to them, something came up about what I did. And I told them, and she said, "Oh, the Shackley's been around a long time." And I said, "Yeah." And she's very interested in health. They both just started a weight loss program. And then she mentioned, "Well, I've got my girlfriends coming over next week. Why don't you drop off some information and we'll take a look at it? Maybe they might be interested." And I thought,
Wow.
Okay, thank you, Lord.
Yes.
So you just never know when those things are going to come up. And I think what you said about being a good listener, in years ago, I probably would have pounced on it and said way too much, but
Yeah.
I didn't say a lot, but I will follow up on that.
Yeah. That has got to be the easiest thing to do and the hardest not to do
I
is
know.
unload the wagon on people when they say something like that, because we know all this wonderful stuff, how Shackley can help and everything. I was contacted. We'll see where this goes. I know I've heard several of you say before that you don't get nothing much happens with the Shackley leads, but had a lady contact me who had been a distributor years and years ago, and she wants to meet, and she's got a lot of issues, COPD and arthritis, and she needs to lose some weight and different things like this. And I'm going to need to be judicious in what I say because I know she knows about Shackley, but I still don't want to just unload the wagon. So I'll need to be thoughtful in how I talk to her because she wants help, and I'm so glad she came to the right place because I know Shackley has got lots of good answers for us. So.
Phyllis,
Uh-huh.
I have something I wanted to share too, which I thought was interesting. I had spoken to one of my friends when the youth came out, and I did the thing on the back of her hand, and I brought some tea. Well, she loved the tea. And so then when I approached her later, I had said something about, if you do the membership, you get, the member price and so forth. And when they had the free one, I contacted her and she said, no, not right now. Now this lady she can afford it. And I said, no, not right now. And I said, oh, that's fine. No problem. And you can still get it from me when you want it, or whatever. And so Sunday night, one of the other ladies in the Bible study called me and said, oh, Melanie, Dee gave me one of your teas. And she said, I'm at Walmart and I want to know the name brand so I can get me some. I said, Priscilla, you can't get it from Walmart. I said, it's that stuff I sell, and I said, I'll bring you some Tuesday to the Bible study. She said, oh, okay. So I put some samples together and a catalog, of course, and I'm going to try to see if she'll have tea or something with me after the Bible study so I can tell her a little bit more about Shackley.
Oh, great.
So you never know, I mean, that I was disappointed because Dee didn't sign up, but you never know because then she shared the tea with,
yes,
somebody else. And so Phyllis might be interested. You just never know. So
that's exciting. And Melanie, that leads me to another thing I was going to ask you folks today before we hang up. I know we're past time, so I understand if someone has to leave. But with our new organic greens, I'm wondering how you folks are thinking that you will contact people. I know what I've thought about doing, but I want to see what you're doing, and maybe I'll do some different things too. Does anybody want to share how you plan to share that with others?
I hadn't even thought about a way to share it yet because I want to see what it's all about when I get it first.
I got you. Now, I got notice that it's been mailed. So
oh, okay.
I don't know when it'll come, but I'm excited.
I can't wait to get it.
Yeah, me too. Well, I was interested to see that it said it could go in soups or pasta or probably just about anything that you have. And so that's a good way for parents to get more in their kids or maybe into husbands who don't usually like to eat vegetables. So that might be nice.
Right.
Well,
I was thinking it'd be great for kids because it is difficult to get that many greens in a kid's diet,
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. Well, I thought I might start calling my customers and just letting them know that this is going to be available. I think y'all, if you saw the video Wednesday night, you know that it's a small container. I'm thinking it's kind of probably like the Citra Boost in that size. And I'm thinking I could easily offer to send a sample or whatever also, because it would be so small. So I'm just thinking about ways to get the word out because the smoothies are a huge market now.
They are.
Why not put some good stuff in there that will really strengthen and encourage, So I think Jim's feeling sad because he likes to pick his own kale, but we'll keep doing that. we might add this too.
There you go.
Oh, our kale bush, I tell you, it went through that 10 degrees. It's just going like it doesn't have good sense out there. So anyway, okay. Well, does anybody else want to share how you plan to share the new product? Nope. Okay. Well, I know Shackley's going to help us because they're sending emails to our people also. But I believe that I heard a birdie say that in May we have something else coming. So this is exciting times for us. Lots of things to share and do, and ways to help us grow so we can all go on the cruise. I want to be there with you guys. So I'm working too. So let's all do our best. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Have a good day. It's very nice to talk with you. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thanks, Phyllis.
Bye,
Thanks, Phyllis.
Okay. Good to talk to you again, Marie. Okay. Bye-bye.
Good to talk to you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.